So, for those that are tuning in, I'd like to welcome you once again to What's Up Shreveport. And the young lady I'll see before you is Miss LaCarla Harris. She's the CEO of the Beauty Curious Nail and Foot Care. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, look, I'm glad to be before you. Once again, it's been a minute.
A long time. What? 2019?
Yes, 2019. And I looked it up, and it was actually October the 6th of 2019.
That's crazy.
Yep. That you actually sat down with me. And for those who don't know, this young lady was the first interview I actually ever had for Before the Vision. Before the Vision. You know, she sat down and she talked with me. And like I was telling her offline, like I'll be like forever indebted to her because she gave me an opportunity to talk with her for her to actually tell her story. And then, like I said, I've been able to see her grow. So I know some things about her, you know, I know some things about her, you know, from our past. So, you know, we just want to kind of catch up, you know. So I want to say it's an honor. I really appreciate your time. You know, you coming in to sit and talk with me and for us to talk about you, among other things. So once again, y'all see the picture of me and her up there. This is October the 2nd of 2019. And like I do. Oh, okay. I do have the picture up there. So that was
a nice picture.
Yeah, it was. It was. You know, we look the colors and everything. Like we had it, you know, we had it going on.
I had hair on my head.
Yep, you did. You did. All right. So Carla. Mm-hmm. All right. So back then, you know, when we were talking, because you know, we kind of talked, you know, offline about you.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when I did that first interview, and you know, I think, you know, you kind of corrected me when I said it. I was like, you know, at the time you were a nail tech, but you know, it was more than that because, you know, the foot care was also a part of you at that time. But you know, I think at that time we actually discussed it and talked about it. You know, you were really trying to get more into it and more involved. And I think at that time you were in the process of actually relocating.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to talk about today, we want to talk about your past, present, and what you foresee in the future.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, you know, we about to remix it a little bit. So for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about LaCarla Harris.
Well, I'm a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm very passionate about what I do. I like getting paid, but I don't do it for the money. I do it because I've seen when it comes to foot care and nail care, I do it because I like how people feel, you know. I'm kind of quiet. I don't really go out much. I don't do much. I work, church, and home. Take care of my dog, Smooth Deshaun.
Look, hey, look. You gotta talk about Smooth Deshaun a little bit. You know, when she told me the name of her dog, Smooth Deshaun. So I was asking, like, when the dog get in trouble, are you saying his full name? Do we just call him Smooth normally, or is it Smooth Deshaun? Like, you know, how that go, Carla? You know, this is new.
His name is Smooth Deshaun Harris, and when I'm really mad at him, his name is Smooth Deshaun, and he know it.
Okay.
But any other day, his name's Smooth.
Is there any type of spelling to smooth? Or is it SMOOTH?
Just SMOOTH. They named him when we picked him up. Okay. So yeah, he was already named Smooth, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep it. It's kind of a little funky.
And look, he done fell into his role in the family.
Yeah, he the man. You know? He the man of the house.
All right, so look, we talked about him being the man of the house, and you know, you got this saying, so you know, anybody that you know maybe even attempt to come through, you already know there's a man already in the house.
Yeah, we say man of the house. He know what to do.
Okay, so look, I'm sorry to interrupt you, and you know, you kind of explain it.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
But no, yeah. I will say, you know, I don't know if there is a lot to. That's something I have to figure out, but I don't think there's like a lot to being me, to doing what I do, or just about me. Mm-hmm. It's a bit simple. I try to keep it simple. You know.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, you know, with you being I don't want to say a simplest. That's not the terminology to use.
I like just quiet. I like normal. I don't like over the top
I got you.
anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I'm designing some nails, then we can go over the top. But other than that, just outside of that, no.
Okay. And look, something that I didn't know about you. So for those that are watching and listening, we actually model together.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking, I'm talking to her like, this is a part of her life, part of her journey. And then I find out today that's something that you really didn't do. And it was just like that one time experience. Yeah. And this was in what, 2007?
Was that 2000? Dang.
2007, I think, when we actually modeled in a fashion show.
Dang,
for Exclusive Dimes.
Yep. I don't model. No.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like to be behind the scenes. I like to work. I like to help people create the vision for themselves.
Okay. And see, once again, you heard her. She said she liked to help create the vision. So she did help us to create the vision before the vision, because she was my first guest. Okay. All right. So we kind of talked about the past with NJ Nails.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've actually graduated
mm-hmm.
from NJ Nails, and it's totally now for those that are, it's totally just, I'm sorry.
The Beauty Curious.
The Beauty Curious.
Yeah, it's okay.
Nails and foot care.
Uh-huh.
And we've taken off NJ.
Yes.
So what was the significance of NJ?
Well, that word. Najee is literally like my brother N'Kobe and my brother Jay. And that was the name of our salon, Najee, with the mix of my two brothers. So my mom wanted to name it Studio Najee. So that's how that became. Okay. And because I'm more of I'm going to get out there and make sure that we are building something great. Or are you going to see us? I am that person. Like I said, I like to help build. So everybody was starting to call me Najee. They didn't know me by my name. So that's how I became Najee. People was just calling me that.
So with the people just calling you that, you just kind of roll with it?
Yeah, I was like, well, Najee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, shout out to your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you big sister.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yeah, they're bigger than me, but I'm the oldest. I'm the big sister, yeah.
And, like, for you to do that, like I said, that's a solid. And, like, did they realize that when you did that?
My mom did that. That had nothing to do with me.
Okay. Was you upset or anything like that?
No, because it used to be Najee Monique, and I was the Monique. But okay. She dropped the Monique, and I was fine with it. It didn't bother me. I was still working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, then we went to Beauty Curious, and that's where we are now.
All right. So, and we were going back to, it actually started before 2019. Your business. When did your business actually start with you being in the business world?
Oh, I've been in this industry for 24 years. 24? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I started just really like getting into it for myself. Maybe getting serious about it probably in 2017-ish. Like, like getting serious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing it for 24 years and I just got serious, along the way. I wasn't as serious when I was younger.
Okay.
But I got tired of being broke.
I understand that.
So some had to give.
Right. Look, I'm still broke. I've been trying to figure that out for a long time. And look, we got to talk about the misconception of, the optics. People think that you're in a different world or realm when it comes to finances because you're a business owner.
That's when you fork out the most money. That's, oh my gosh. That's when you don't get sleep. And you're always buying something. You're always doing something. Yeah. People think that being a business owner is easy. It's not. It's not.
Okay. So, staying along with the conversation. In nail care, and you always had the foot care. So when you relocated from Shreveport to Dallas, am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How was that adjustment for you? Moving your business.
So I'll get a little personal. Leaving Shreveport, I was ready. I was ready to move. I just wanted something different. But leaving Shreveport and going to Texas was not easy. Actually, the first couple of years were extremely hard because I moved around with COVID. I moved COVID And then, we talked about my dad passed away
Yeah.
like right after I moved. He passed away from COVID. And so the business stopped actually completely. I didn't do nails. I didn't do anything. I started working for an insurance company being a sheet clerk because I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to do anything. And then one day, I think like the next year, like 21, I had a dream. And in my dream, my dad came to me in the dream. He said, it's time to start back. And that's how I got started. And that's when the beauty cures came, literally in a dream, the name and everything. My dad, in the dream, my dad told me the name and he told me when to get started. That's how it happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I've known you for quite a while. So when we interviewed, we talked about feet. And, I've talked, and look, I'm not ashamed to talk about, we talked about feet and we talked about my feet. And we've actually talked about feet again today. So I have to make my appointment and come see the beauty cures.
Yes.
Concerning my feet.
Yes.
Okay. So the foot care. Mm-hmm. When did the explosion of foot care actually come for you? Like I see it, whenever I see you, I see anything talking about the beauty of your feet.
So again, going back, the explosion came from the passion, the love I have for my dad and my great grandmother. Okay. I used to work on their feet, and the passion came from when my dad passed away. My dad passed away from COVID, but underlying issue lupus. Okay. And we didn't know. And some of the first signs of lupus for my dad was his toenails. And because I didn't know, I felt like guilty for a long time because I didn't know. And I felt like if I would have known, I could have helped him. I could have helped save his life. But, so, and then with my great grandmother, I would work on her feet until I couldn't work on her feet. She had the infection from whatever she was passing away from was coming through from her feet, the infection. And I couldn't touch her anymore. So I'm like, I need to figure out how to do this to make sure that I can actually help more people because I couldn't help them. So now I help other people. I honor my father and my great grandmother by helping other people with their feet. So that's where the passion came from. I just want to help.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't do it for my dad, but I could do it for y'all.
Okay, so right now, for the people that are listening and people that are watching, we're actually airing a part of the video when you were actually part of Artist. What was that experience like for you actually being there?
Man, it was great. It was great. One of my clients, she was like, you got to be a part of it. You got to be a part of it. Whatever we got to do, you got to be a part of it. And I'm like, well, people gonna see me. She was like, well, that's the part. You think I'm like, I don't know. I want to stay in this room. But I was like, okay, well, we got to do it. And I like to think outside of the box. Yeah. If we're doing vendors and stuff, and not no shade to anybody, but this is just me. I want you to feel comfortable coming to me because I'm talking about something people don't feel comfortable talking about their feet. So we wanted to create a space for an artist where people can actually feel comfortable. Because when you come into my room in my suite in Shreveport, you really feel comfortable when you come in there. And that's how I wanted artists to be for artists. And it was good. I actually won the Entrepreneur Award for the city of Shreveport. And I was not expecting that because I just moved back home. So I wasn't expecting to win anything, but it was great. I enjoyed it. I'll do it again.
Shout out to Envision Media. I think they actually put on that show.
It was great.
And shout out to them for what they've been doing. I think they've been doing it for quite a while now.
I think so. Yeah. I think this their third or fourth year or something like that.
Yeah. I'm not sure, and that's why I said I didn't want to. Yeah. Okay. So with you not wanting to be in front of the people to promote yourself and promote what you do because you are actually helping us. Yeah. As far as to be healthy. Mm-hmm. So. What you actually just expounded to me about. So I could say your grandparents was the motivation behind.
My dad and my great grandmother.
Okay. Your dad?
Mainly my dad. Yeah. Okay. Mainly my dad. Because my grandmother was already passing away. Okay. And I was still working on feet. But my dad, we didn't know he had lupus. And he didn't know.
Okay.
So.
He was a daddy's girl.
I'm a daddy's girl.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now we talked, and I know how tight you are with your mom. We were just talking about
that's
that.
My homie.
Okay, now look, what you think your mom will think about?
Oh, she knows.
Oh, she knows?
Yeah, she don't care. She knows that that's my daddy. Yeah.
Okay.
But my mom is my everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you see the video, you see anything with business, you're gonna see me and my mom together. She's gonna always be by my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So look, we're gonna show some more videos. And look, we will be, I think the main video I wanted to show that I showed when you were at Arches was kind of like the layout of how you had it set up, which was very immaculate. It was very beautiful. And I wanted to make sure everybody's seen that while you were talking.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize to the listeners and people that are watching. I didn't consider the music. The music was kind of playing while we were talking as well. So I didn't want it to overshadow.
Is the music in the video?
It was just a little bit like When I Rule the World. Yeah, that.
Oh, that's what they were playing. So that's what they were playing
there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I want to show like a video that we have, and it kind of highlights you. Let me see. We just go kind of watch that for a second.
That's crazy.
And this video it's a little 7-second video, which is nice, showing people walking and you see their feet. And we're gonna look at some of your work. We're observing, a person's foot. And I guess you actually probably explained in the process about, maybe what we need to do or what you're going to do.
Yeah. A lot of people I work on, they have underlying issues. So if you see, they may be a diabetic, they may have an autoimmune disease that affects the skin, their feet. And so I take care of their feet,
Yeah.
So if you see videos of that, most of the time it's people that actually have something going on inside in their blood or inside their body, and I help make them feel better with their feet. Much of the skin. Sometimes they can take off too much of the skin.
Now, some of the stories, but before you actually have a client, do they have to actually explain what's going on to diagnose
and
it?
Using callus softeners or callus removers that has a high content of alcohol when you should be using moisturizing agents. Come see me. Come get educated. Come get loved on. I love what I do, and you will too. Bye. And talk to me about what the doctor said. And and I can always go and look up certain things that I can do that's in my scope of practice to help that won't hurt them, because they may be on some type of medication. And if they're on some type of medication, 9 times out of 10, the medication affects the skin. And I can't work against medication, but I can help beautify their feet, and give them things to take home to keep their feet soft and stuff in between.
Okay. So for those that are watching, you brought a couple of your products.
I did.
With us. Would you like to kind of break down those products? I know you did more of a repackaging.
I did. Yeah, It was black. So I have this is my number one seller. People love this, and then because we used to have it in a tube. It was in a black tube. It's a foot balm for cracked heels, and it's real thick. Okay. So we had it in a tube, and they had to scoop it out with their finger and put it on their feet. But I wanted to change it up and make it a little bit more easier for people and less messy. So I put it in a deodorant tube. Okay. Still the same formula. It's my formula. I create my own formulas. But this is my number one seller. We almost sold out of this at Artish. I think I had 10 left. Okay. I was happy about that because I brought a lot. But this actually comes with socks. I didn't bring the socks. I forgot. But this comes with socks to help people with their feet. Okay. So the foot balm, this is my number one seller. And yes, we changed it to white because, like I told you before, I don't really like color. Yeah. Like I like simple. I like simple, straight to the point. I love that. If you ever see a lot of color, any designs, it's because my mama made me do it. It was not me. And then what's this one? This one is the unscented. I brought 2 unscented ones. Well, I have an unscented one, and I have one with a sweet smell. It's strawberry brulee. That's they love that. Women love that. Men love it too. They like to smell a little with the sweet smell. I did not know that. I think it's progressive. We like to smell. We want to. It's not girly, so it's not strong. So, but a lot of men buy my strawberry brulee foot cream. They do. It's crazy. But anyway, so yes, I guess it's uncommon, maybe. To me, it is. I get where you're coming from. Yeah, I have an unscented for like people with eczema and psoriasis and stuff, because sometimes a fragrance contains alcohol and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So I didn't want anything that's going to dry out the skin or hurt. But yes,
I
so I
got
have
you.
an unscented and then I have a scented. And I did not bring it, but yes, we are coming out with a new product
Tell
in
us
the
about this
next
new
2 weeks.
product, Carla. You know, I told you, social ghosts love the scoop. We love all the new things.
Yeah, so you're the first one to know. I woke up, I was like, I need something for the summertime, because a lot of times we put on lotion and we put on lotion, we want to put on heels and our feet get slippery. I was like, man, I need something. So I went and I created a foot glaze.
Okay.
It is a foot glaze. It's all natural. When I say all natural, there are no chemicals in it. It's almost like all natural, like my foot balm.
Okay.
It's not as thick as the foot balm, and it smells so good. It's like a pistachio ice cream. It's like sweet and creamy. It smells good. It smells really good, but it's for like the women that don't want to put on lotion and their feet. The lotion is thick and real slippery. They don't have a grip. They can put on the foot glaze.
Okay.
Yes.
So as far as those products, we can get them on hand at your location, correct?
Yes, you can get them on hand. You can get them on my website, and you can get them on Walmart's website.
Okay.
Yes. So we are on Walmart's website and my website and in my store, in my suite.
Okay. So for anyone who wants to, maybe receive your services, what's the first order of business we need to take care of prior to reaching out to you?
Book an appointment.
Okay.
Just book an appointment. I have the link on all of my social media sites and stuff like that. But book an appointment. But if it's something like really serious and you don't know, I do have a consultation, which we do Zoom. You don't have to come in for 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't take long. But we do Zoom, and I'll let you know if I can and can't work on you.
Also on the Zoom, we actually propping our feet up. Look, this is what I got going on.
Yeah, we get a little down and dirty on the Zoom, because I want to know everything.
Okay.
When it comes to your feet, and if you're taking medications, any of that, so I can know if I can work on you, because I don't want you to make an appointment, then I got to turn you around because I can't touch you. So if there's something like going on, you can book the consultation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, throughout this process of you doing this, I know it's probably been a lot of laughs and stuff like that. Like, how do you handle that? Because I know you're serious about your craft and what you're doing.
I'll say this. When I first started, people would jump in my inbox and be like, why are you posting pictures of our feet? Why is this on my timeline? You need to stop. It was like that. People were doing me like that. And I would just ignore it, but I was going to keep on because I knew that you needed to see it. Like people need to know that there's someone here that can help. And I just kept on. But now no one says anything. I normally get messages about how proud they are. And they like how passionate I am about feet now. And it's some of the same people.
Yeah, that was maybe a little bit more critical.
Yeah. But I mean, it's been really good. I have no complaints about foot care in Shreveport, Bossier.
And look, what I just thought about, like when you would see feet back in the day, you had the pimple pop in, it had like these other things. You know, like you said, why people asking like feet, people may associate it to be maybe not, as tasteful to the eye. But like the pimple pop in, I think there's something else, but like all that stuff became really, really popular.
It did, yeah. Because I do think that, because when we start posting pictures about how we do working on feet or popping pimples or anything like that, it's a calming thing, because it takes our mind off whatever we got going on.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I think, because I watch them.
I got you.
And I don't think about anything but what I'm watching at that time. Then I'm done and I'm back to thinking about what I got to do.
So before I let you get up out of here, Carla, is there any information that you would like to provide to anyone who may decide they want to get into the foot care realm of what you're doing? Like if they wanted to pick your brain or talk to you, like I want to be.
I didn't even send you that.
Is it podiatry? What is it? The word actually.
It's podiatry.
Podiatry. Okay.
So yeah, I'm a medical assistant in podiatry and I'm a medical pedicurist. And I did not send you the picture. I do have a foot care academy class. So if you want to learn more, if you want to learn more about foot care, I am here to help. It can't just be me. More people need to I would love for more people to be more passionate about helping people with feet. And if it may not even be you may not like feet, but you love helping people, as long as you really like helping people, you can tend to look over the fact that it's feet,
Right.
So I do have a foot care academy class. It is on my website, www.beautycurious.com. It is on there. And if you are licensed, you have to be licensed. You have to be, because we're dealing with some stuff, and you have to know, you have to have the book sense when it comes to the foot care. So, but yeah, contact me. I'll be more than willing to help. I'm actually looking to hire more people. So we're going into a bigger space, and I need at least 2 more people. So you'll be booked up instantly.
And for the information you just told me, this is the information that they can get when they go on your website and everything else. So those that are watching, those that are listening on the radio, make sure you take heed to the information that's being provided by this young lady. It's important to take care of our feet. And like I said, I go back to 2019, LaCarla talking about my feet, and it's 2025 when I'm talking about my feet. Look, I need to get real about this. You know what I'm saying? So I have to make sure that I handle my business so we can see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I would love to really take care. I want to wear my thong sandals out on the beach. Yes, you should. And show that I'm confident about them. I don't want to be thinking people looking at my feet and like they horrible. Like.
You wouldn't be the only one. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah.
Hey, look, this is our show. So once again, I really appreciate you. And for those that are watching, this is a very big interview for me because, like I said, this young lady was my first interview for Before the Vision. And like I said, we were talking about it like we've known each other since 2007. So, that's a lot of time that's invested in this process. I have one more question before I let you go. With the pandemic, we kind of talked about the pandemic was actually huge. Did that hurt or hinder your business?
I just stopped completely. So I wouldn't say hindered or hurt. I just stopped because, like let's say my dad passed away from it, so COVID. But when I started back, it just like that, like instantly. I started back in August of 21. I was still living in Texas and I was working at a Black-owned nail salon. August 21, by November of 21, the same year, I was completely booked up. And then 3 months later, I moved into my own space. And it's just been me on my own ever since. I've never not been booked up. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. When I made up in my mind, like, okay, well, it's time to get back. Okay, you know what your dad said in your dream, get back to it. And as soon as I made up in my mind, I think like sometimes you just got to make it up in your mind, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Once you really make it up in your mind, you're going to do it. It may be a little hard, but it won't be difficult because it's made up in your mind. Like,
right.
You just got to make it up in your mind that you're going to do it and do it. Yeah. And that's what happened. I'm talking to you.
Look, we really appreciate this. Hopefully, like I told Carla, like, I hope I want to keep this relationship for life. So hopefully, you'll see us together more often, impacting lives.
Yes. Look, I love that.
That's our show. Is there anything else you want to leave before we get up out of here, Miss Harris? A quote, anything you want to drop a gem.
Love what you do. Be great at it. Honestly, love what you do. Be great at it. And I'm this person. Put God first. Put God first. Love what you do. Be great at it. Always, always pray. Ask God to lead you in the right direction. And I'm a living witness. It will work and it can work. And if you decide to make it up in your mind that this is what you want to do, but you have to make it up in your mind, and you can't be afraid of the naysayers because they're going to come. They're going to come and they're going to try to stop you. But because you believe and you made up in your mind what you're going to do, keep doing it. That's it.
Hey, man, we about to get up out of here, y'all. This is our show. Thank you for tuning in to What's Up Shreveport. We go, holla!